Hello everyone and welcome to Gaming Cats and Dogs. This is a Disney game. A Disney game that, well, I didn't grow up with, but I heard a lot of people really liked this one.
I don't know why.
This is Disney Classic Games featuring Aladdin and the Lion King, and we're going to play Aladdin for the Sega Genesis. Now, I grew up with the Super Nintendo version, but people hailed this one as like the superior version.
I grew up with the Disney versions, and no.
No?
No.
I find both of them have their strengths and weaknesses. Like, I'm not going to difficult, I'm just going to play on the normal mode.
Oh my god, it gets harder?
Yeah, it gets harder. Yeah, there's different difficulties.
Have I been playing on easy?
No, because easy or practice is just like the first 3 levels and then it ends. And it's just like, now play the full game.
Have I been playing on hard?
I don't know.
Huh.
You have to check.
That would answer so many questions as to why I'm as bad as I am, because I feel like normal people aren't that bad at games.
I mean, these games were very hard. Like, you've said it best, Disney hates kids.
Disney hates kids.
Like, I've had a lot of Disney games growing up, and like, they're easy now, but because I've played them to exhaustion.
Oh, they're easy now.
They're easy now. Like,
okay,
I don't know how you'd feel if you played the
guys,
Magical Quest.
Just so that everyone knows, like, I haven't beaten this game yet. I think I make it to like level 4, and then just tears, so I stop. Because Disney hates kids.
Alright, well, this is the first level, AGRABAH Market. And, yeah, so right off the bat, like, one of the praises that the game gets, and this is the one that I agree with the most, is they got actual Disney animators to draw the characters and import the sprites into the game. Like, when you see the Capcom version, they're very clearly, like, pixelated, and they don't look as smooth, there's not smooth animation. This one got it. Which is, this was the gateway that made Disney go, okay, we're done with the contract with Aladdin, theirs is going to expire anyway. Instead of renewing it, we're going to give the contract to Virgin. And that's how we got the Lion King game. Yeah, thanks for that. The Jungle Book game.
It's even worse.
And apparently a Pinocchio game.
What?
Yeah, it's weird that they chose Pinocchio.
I mean, like, is his nose the weapon? Like, you tell a lie instead of a sword, you just, like, hit people with your
never
nose.
played it. But yeah, the difference, the other main difference, which I don't find this to be the superior one, like, as a kid, you're like, okay, this one you have the sword, so you slash through all these enemies. But in the Capcom one, you're very acrobatic. You front flip off items, you swing off bars.
Okay, so
it feels more true to the character.
Yeah, whereas Aladdin doesn't really use weaponry.
No, he uses a sword in one scene. And he uses it for like a minute, maybe. But that's not who he is. He's a character that uses what's around him to get the advantage.
He's resourceful.
Yeah, he's a resourceful character. He's not a character that's going to just go around slashing through all the enemies. Like, that's a 90s kid thing, or just like a kid in general. It's like, oh, I got a sword.
I'm an adult. I'd still do that.
We've all got swords.
Go to like the Renfest and be like, oh man, look at that sword.
Oh yeah, I do it too. I love that part.
Like, I would definitely own a sword.
So yeah, like, that's like one of the main appeals. But for me, at least, the sword isn't that good in this game. It's very sloppy and not precise.
Well, I mean, like, you have to be close enough to hit them with a sword, but far enough away that it counts.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst problems I have playing the game, is like, I'm always too close to the enemy.
Yeah, like, I always get nicked even when I don't intend to.
You know, complete level, that's fine. You didn't die once.
It's just the first one.
I die at least twice on that level.
Well, maybe I'll get you far. There you go. Feel better? I got you far right away.
Yes!
And, like, I don't even try on these bonus levels because I don't think they're
really
that good.
hard. Like, again,
they're kind of random.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't found a pattern.
Like in the Super Nintendo version, you get just like a wheel, like a Price is Right wheel.
And then it just...
And it slows down when you hit it, so it seems more like a chance.
Yeah.
Or like it seems like a more fair minigame than whatever the hell this is, where it's just like hey, if you've never played this before, guess where shit's coming.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every time
I got hit.
Yeah,
so.
every time I've played it, I think I'm doing well, and then that second wave of, pots come, and just...
like...
Poor Abu, he never had a chance. Sees me on the controls, and he's like, I'm gonna die today. So...
This guy was severely lacking in the Disney remake.
He wasn't even in the remake.
I know, that's what I mean by lacking. He wasn't there. Jafar was so boring, he couldn't even be an old man.
He couldn't even be an old man.
There's a cave, boy. A cave of wonders. Jafar, can you hurry it up? I'm dying in here.
Could you imagine if the guy that played Jafar dressed up as that old man? How awful the acting would be, and it would just be like a beard on top of his beard.
There's a cave, boy. A cave of wonders.
Cave of wonders. He'd just turn into Charlie the Unicorn.
So, a lot of things you'll find in these games is, to elongate it and make it a proper game. They throw in levels that are, true to the source material, but aren't in the movie. Aladdin doesn't go to the desert to find the scarab pieces.
Yeah.
The scarab is already put together, and it's just you gotta find the diamond in the rough early on in the movie. But that's how to progress the story.
Yeah.
For the game, for, more levels and more things to do, it's just alright, send them out to the desert.
I mean, he's in the desert briefly,
Mm-hmm.
But...
So it works, but there's no snakes with fezzes in the movie. They just thought that would be creative.
But Fez is a coat. Where are my Doctor Who fans at? Yeah, I don't like the snakes. I mean, I like watching people play this game, but playing it myself...
It's frustrating.
What's a step up from frustrating?
Bearable? Tolerable? You grit your teeth through it?
Until about level 4.
Then the tolerance goes out the window.
And then I would need to see an orthodontist. Because...
You've been gritting your teeth too much?
Yep.
See, I don't like this kind of level design where you're supposed to know to go behind the scenery.
Well,
It's bothersome to me because it's aimless.
Well, not only that, but right here. So you have to jump on the trees. There's the guard up there that you kill earlier.
Yeah.
So if you don't know to kill him earlier, that you're dead right there. I've died there so many times because I can't kill the guard.
You can go right, you can go left, and you go behind scenery, and I don't like that because in most games, especially in Mario's a great example. If it looks like a solid or a wall or something,
then it is a solid.
Yeah, it's the background. It's not the foreground. It's. Hey, I just noticed that Goofy's face is on one of the totem poles.
What?
Yeah, it was a little Easter egg. Goofy's face was on one of those.
Huh.
How about that? Oh, come on. I'm about to die.
Oh, look at that.
There we go. There's my death.
Justice is served.
Alright, I don't have to refine the scarab, so that's good. I need to use my apples more. There we go. Alright.
Abu's helping you out there.
There we go. That's the other scarab and another level done.
I love how he dances.
Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba. Yeah. There we go. A little bit of something.
Boom. Jafar.
Yeah.
I'm supportive.
Just a little bit. Now this is weird. So we're supposed to find the other half of the scarab in the possession of a thief, but it's the thief from the beginning of the movie. So, according to the context of the movie, that thief dies because his name's Gazim. He gets eaten by the King of Wonders because it's just
he's not worthy.
Hey, he's not worthy. Go seek out the diamond in the rough. So the game's just kind of we'll just throw him in kind of halfway. And I'm just alright, I guess.
I mean, it could just be the familiarity, hey, if you're playing this game, you obviously like the movie, so this is someone that you know. So we're just gonna toss him in because you know who it is.
So this level, you gotta collect all these flutes to summon ropes, so you can reach higher areas. And like, Virgin Games, a lot of their games are like very labyrinth-like in level design. It's not like go from left to right, it's go from left, up, diagonal, down, back through. And like, it can get a little jarring. And to add on top of that, like, the stuff where it's just like, is this in the foreground or the background?
Yeah. Can I go inside?
That's where the frustration happens.
See, I feel like this is an attempt at a 3D game in 2D.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to utilize all of the dimensions and...
Well, like, maze-like designs work in a Metroid game because, like, it's not linear. You go to a place and it's just like, okay, I don't have a jump to reach that yet. And then later on you get an ability to give you, like, a super jump, and it's like, oh, I can go back to that jump I couldn't reach. And there's a purpose. Whereas here, it's just kind of sloppy. It's like, I'm up here, now I'm down there, and I'm here. And it's enjoyable when you know what it is. But when, like, you're just...
When you don't, you start crying at this point.
When you experience it for the first time, it's just like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, there? Okay, I guess I was supposed to go through that. Like, and there's not that many tells. Like, they look solid, because they're just painted on, but you can walk through some, but not others.
Yeah.
It's inconsistent, so it's very awkward. For me, again, people grew up with this game. I didn't. I was late to this party.
Well, like, I played The Lion King. Okay, so
The Lion King is worse than this. This is a godsend compared to The Lion King.
I definitely agree, but as a child, like, I didn't play the Aladdin SEGA as a kid. I played The Lion King.
Okay.
So this one being introduced to it later in life, like, it's still confusing and frustrating and, like, as an adult, but I also played one that was more challenging.
Right.
So where that disconnect is, I have no idea.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that.
Oh, that's how you don't die there. Okay.
Yeah, you can, like, deflect his knives with your sword.
Oh, for sure.
And, like, I can't jump up there to get that, so, oh well.
Don't die.
Easier said than done. But I got a little bit of health, so it's a little more possible now. Quick, hit the Jafar lamp, which wasn't even in this movie. Well, until the very end. The very end. But yeah, context of the movie, ain't nobody got time for that in this shit.
Okay, there's your save.
And like, here's Gazim, easiest boss ever. Just like, trap him in a corner and keep slashing. You'll catch him in loop. Done.
So it is an easy boss, but again, it was a children's game.
Yeah.
So it's like, us playing as adults, I don't know if it's fair to be like, easy boss, because then you have your adult friends who don't play video games, and then they play, I don't know, something like World of Illusion, and they cry at the final boss from watching videos.
I know you're having a bit of an episode here. Well, maybe if you had an adult friend who was, like, kind of pretty and was, like, very special to you, and she was, like, playing World of Illusion, like, maybe, and how about the final boss? This guy, you gotta catch him on loop, too. You jump, throw an apple, jump, throw an apple, and then eventually he croaks.
Yeah, I did figure that one out. I mean, I died a lot, but once I figured out, like, oh, jump over the barrels, toss an apple as you jump, like, you can avoid dying like a regular person.
Ah, jeez. Oh well. Again, I don't die that much, so like lives don't matter too much to me until like later on. Oh, it's don't get me wrong. This game still gives me trouble in a couple spots.
Okay, so like once I get to the prison, in this game, I have to have at least 10 lives, or else I'm done playing for the day.
So is it the bats that usually get you because they're so hard to really see?
Yes.
Bats in games are, like, very problematic. Like, in Castlevania, they're the worst because they'll knock you off ledges. Because when you hit, you have a back step. Like, you jump back when you get hit. So if you're on the edge of, like, a cliff or something, and a bat hits you, and you go, you fly off a cliff!
Oh, and then you get that sad scream from the character. It's probably the worst feeling. Gotta let you down.
But here we go. Here's the Sultan's dungeon. And it's very maze-like, and it has platforms that pop out and pop in, because those are fun. You got Mickey ears in the corner.
Get that bat. Oh.
Yeah, they're very tiny.
They're hard to see in general.
Yeah.
And then again, like you said, you have things like the poles and the chains that are in front of you, so you can't always see them.
Yeah.
Because they're behind a pole or they're behind
fair.
the chains, and it's like...
Yeah, like, look at this. Like, why is this necessary? What's wrong with just, like, everything in the background? What's with the shit in the foreground that blocks my view?
The game is challenging enough. You don't need to block the views.
And, like, poor Sebastian.
No, look at him.
Teenagers. But most of my bias comes from growing up with the Super Nintendo, and when we get to the Super Nintendo, you haven't seen the Super Nintendo
I have not.
yet. So these are your honest thoughts about experiencing this one first. But feel free to like bash or critique the Super Nintendo version as well, because like for me, the Super Nintendo version has more strengths for me, but I definitely see where other people find like this the superior game. So I'm curious if like you'll see the Super Nintendo and be like, okay, I like this better, or if you're like, oh no, I actually prefer the way Genesis did it. So it'll be interesting when we get to that.
See, I haven't played the Nintendo version, but I have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen like the characters and the graphics, and it's like, I wish that SEGA could like put their graphics on Nintendo's gameplay. Like, if that makes sense, because I mean, I've heard wonderful things about the gameplay for Nintendo, and it seems better than Sega, but
Sega looks better.
Yeah, the graphics are definitely better for Sega.
Like, it looks like the cartoon.
Yeah.
It looks like you're popping the cartoon on the Sega Genesis. Whereas with the Super Nintendo, it's just like, it's kind of Aladdin. I see the resemblance, but it's not the cartoon.
It's almost like looking at Aladdin with your glasses off.
Ugh.
Like,
ouch.
You can vaguely tell, but it could also be a pole with a fez. You're not sure. So...
I don't remember the prison escape in the movie being this exciting.
I know.
The old man just went, oh look, there's a secret passage in the cell. Do we have a deal? And then suddenly we're like right at the Cave of Wonders.
Oh, you just got stabbed.
Yep. I got nicked.
Oh look, I've been impaled.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled. I just like the chuckle at the end of that. That he gives. Oh, jeez. But, these were the prime. This was the prime of the Disney games, though. As hard as they were, like, this was them in their prime. Because, like, later on, we had Hercules for the PlayStation 1, which I never played, but I've heard mixed things about. Tarzan for the PlayStation 1, which I have played. It's alright. It's decent. Mulan was a point-and-click game.
Well, I mean...
It didn't even have an adventure.
Like, it's unfortunate, but I feel like Mulan is one of the least popular, like, Disney movies in general.
Pocahontas was the last game on the Sega Genesis, actually.
Really?
Yeah, you used, like, the spirits of animals to solve puzzles.
Oh.
Never played it, but I heard about it because, like, yeah, I was doing research on, like, Virgin Games because they did this Disney Classic Games, and one of my complaints was, boy, I wish they included, like, the whole Disney Classic Games, not just 2 of them.
Yeah.
Like, that was my complaint. I'm just like, I don't think I'll buy this. Well, I have a birthday, and I have family members that's just like, oh, he likes Aladdin. Buy him this. I'm like, but I made a video specifically saying I wouldn't.
Well.
Ah, well. You can't make these decisions yourself.
You win some, you lose some.
Exactly. All right.
See,
so
like you just lost some.
I lose a lot with these mini games. But anywho, all right. So that's the first part of Aladdin for the Sega Genesis. We'll see you guys in the next part where we continue this lovely adventure through the Arabian Nights.
Okay, bye.